So this marks the last episode of Season 23 of SportsLine. We're celebrating the numerous achievements of our sports teams during this hectic season, and everyone who interacts with me on a regular basis is celebrating the fact that I won't be able to talk about SportsLine for the next 3 months. Joke's on them though, I'll always find a way. Hello, I'm Siobhan Nolan.
And I'm Isaiah Clark. This is the first time I'm hosting the show and 4 years producing it. This episode hasn't even started yet, and I already know I don't want to do it again. You're watching LaSalle TV's Home for Explorer Athletics SportsLine.
Welcome to SportsLine. It's the season finale, so fasten your seatbelts because we're bringing you recaps of every single sports season.
And later, we're bringing you a special edition of the Explorer Report to get you ready for the upcoming fall season.
But first, let's take a look at our SportsLine top 3.
Number 1, after announcing last fall that LaSalle will be reducing its number of intercollegiate athletic teams, it was announced on Tuesday that one of the affected programs will be reinstated, effective immediately. Men's swimming and diving was able to develop an independent and external fundraising and infrastructure, and along with the existing efficiencies with the women's program in the form of sharing a coach, staff, venue, and other resources, was able to secure reinstatement into the varsity athletics program.
Number 2, the track and field team dominated during the A10 championships this past week. During the first day of competition, naturally, the Mancini sisters were on the podium, with Ellen and Liz Mancini earning gold and silver respectively in the 10,000 meters, while Grace Mancini earned her 3rd consecutive A10 silver medal in the 3,000 meter steeplechase. For the men, Tayanga Mbambo earned silver in the 10,000 meters, while Luke Yuchu-Zerakowski collected bronze, and Ryan James earned bronze in the 3,000 meter steeplechase. On the second day of competition, Dennis Manier was the star of the show, breaking his own conference record and taking gold in the high jump. Grace Mancini got the other podium finish for the day, collecting her 2nd silver of the weekend, taking 2nd in the 5,000 meters.
Number 3, for women's water polo, senior Madison Martinez was named to the MAAC All-Tournament team in recognition of her contributions to the Explorers' postseason play. This is Martinez's 4th conference honor, having previously been named Offensive Player of the Year, First Team All-Conference, and All-Academic Team.
So as the season's winding down, there's not a ton to talk about. We're going to hear more about men's swimming and diving later in the Explorer Report. But track and field, as usual, they're dominating. The Mancini sisters are up there. It's just business as usual for them doing well in the A10 championships.
Right, and I don't know how we got all those medals and didn't get first place.
I know.
I'm really shocked by that.
It's crazy.
I don't know how track works, but that's insane that we can have so many people on the podium. About 10 medals and still not even get in the top 3. So.
Yeah, but it's great because we see the same names over again. Luke Yuchu-Zerakowski, Dennis Manier, the Mancini sisters. So just the consistency and the fact that we have a lot of these people for a couple or few more years it's promising to know that, even though we didn't get first this year, we can still maybe count on a first place finish next year.
Right, and not even mention is the freshmen and the sophomores that are, they didn't get on the podium, but they still finished high in the top half of the tables in their races. So, this already strong program is just going to continue to keep going. It already won a championship last year. I can see them winning again for years to come.
Oh, 100%. And then Madison Martinez for women's water polo, she's been a standout player all year, and the fact that this is her 4th conference honor just this season, she's cleaning up for women's water polo, and she definitely deserves Offensive Player of the Year. Every time there was a goal or a series of goals, it would always be Madison Martinez. Her name would be attached to it.
Right, and women's water polo is one of those teams who they're one of our newer sports, so they started off rough, but you can see that they've slowly progressed over the years. And this year they really put their name on the conference. They were 3rd in the conference, almost 2nd, and they went into the postseason really strong. Unfortunately, they couldn't win it all, but I can see them having a really bright future as well.
Yeah, it's a major improvement for both water polo teams this season, and so we're really excited to see where they go from there. But that's it for the top three. Now let's see how our teams did in this season's recaps.
Baseball had a stellar season so far. They're currently 26-15 on the season and have had a myriad of stars in their roster. Freshman pitcher Frank Elisalt shined on the mound with a 3.22 ERA and sitting seventh on the all-time list for strikeouts in a single season so far. To the surprise of absolutely no one, catcher Taylor Evans has been a star both behind the plate and the batter's box, with 5 home runs and 40 RBIs in the season. Senior Jack Cuccinata has been fast this year, but we've still been able to catch him moving to 6th on the all-time list for career stolen bases with 41, and 7th all-time for single season stolen bases with 23. Currently sitting on the top of the Baseball North Division of Atlantic 10, baseball season and their dominance is far from over.
Cross country made its case to be called the best sport at LaSalle had all spring. Senior Luke Zurikowski led the team in most matches all year, putting up star performances throughout every competition. One would be leading cross country to a second-place finish in the A10 tournament. But on the women's side, the Mancini sisters continued their dominance like everyone expected, registering record time finishes and numerous top 20 placements throughout the spring season. Although the women failed to repeat the champs this year, it doesn't take away from what they accomplished all year. The cross-country teams on both sides have nothing but great things to look forward to for the upcoming seasons.
Men's and women's rowing started their first season with new head coach Jeff Garbutt. It was a hard season for the teams, often finishing at the bottom of the table. A bright spot for the season was the women's novice 8 snagging a second-place finish in a race with George Mason and Temple. But the highlight of the rowing season was when they took part in the Jesuit Invitational. There, they would post their best performances, including 4 race wins in the men's varsity 8, first and second heats, varsity 4, and the novice 8. The women also placed second out of 4 boats during that event.
Men's soccer had a lot to be excited about coming into this season, bringing in 11 freshmen to the squad and boasting a whole host of international talent as well. Going 5-5-1, some season highlights included a season open win against Villanova, a series sweep of St. Joe's, and some dazzling individual performances. 3 men's soccer players earned A10 honors at the end of the season, with junior Amari Cotterell making the all-conference second team, and freshmen Junior Nare and Scott Beeks earning spots on the all-rookie team. And to save the best performance of this season for last, sophomore Luis Pichol did an excellent job of co-hosting SportsLine earlier in the season.
Women's soccer went on an absolute tear this season, finishing the year with a stellar 7-2 record. They also kicked off their season with a victory against Villanova, along with a 9-0 routing of Delaware State, and a series sweep of their own against St. Joe's. The women also cleaned up in the A10 postseason honors, with redshirt senior Taylor Newhart landing a spot on the all-conference second team and the all-academic team. Senior Jenna Soriano also found herself on the all-academic team, while freshmen Kelly McGroarty and Jolyn Stollard unsurprisingly earned spots on the all-conference rookie team.
The field hockey team had a less than impressive end to their season after dropping 2 back-to-back games against Temple and Lock Haven. The team struggled to keep a lead all season, and although they made a few close attempts, concluded the year without tallying a single win. The team brought on 8 freshmen for the 2021 season who have a long road ahead of them to bring a better season outcome in the following years. The blue and gold racked up 8 goals in total with a shooting percentage of 0.136. Sophomore Sammy Hackman led the Explorers with 2 goals, followed by freshman Tatum Johnson with 1 goal and 3 assists. Goalkeeper Cassie Kincaid finished out her season with 62 total saves and calculated a save percentage of 0.66.
Lacrosse wished their season could have been better than what it was this year, only finishing with a 5-9 record. On the bright side of things, they protected home field, winning 4 of 7 here at McCarty Stadium. Their best performance came against St. Bonaventure, where they registered 22 goals and held their opponents to only 5 goals. Senior Anya Akabuchi led the Explorers in goals with 36 total points with 40. Right behind Akabuchi was senior Emily Johnston, who recorded 30 goals and 36 total points. The Explorers' assist leader was senior Sarah Elias with 17.
Men's and women's track and field once again had a strong season with several medal finishes and record-breaking performances. To start, senior Dennis Manier broke not only LaSalle's high jump record, but the A10s as well, recording a jump of 2.15 meters on his way to taking another A10 title in the high jump. Other highlights for the men were Ibrahim Kadir and Matt Bridger taking silver and bronze in the A10 5K race. Meanwhile, on the women's side, Grace Mancini capped off her final year with multiple record-breaking performances. To start the season, Mancini broke the school's 3,000-meter record at Villanova Opener. She then broke the school's 5K record at the Temple Invite, then in the very next meet, the school's steeplechase record. Other highlights of the season were Christine Mancini winning the 800-meter title at the Big 5 Invite, and Elle Mancini taking the A10 title in the 10K race.
The volleyball team had an impressive final season with a finishing record of 5-3 for the regular season matches and 5-3 for A10 matches. It was a sad end to the volleyball program after the team dropped their final match to Rhode Island in a 4-set defeat on Saturday. The Explorers took the opening frame, but were answered back by the Rams, who prevailed in 2 close final sets. On a positive note, after a solid debut season, freshman Isa Lopez was named Libero of the Year by the A10 End of the Year Awards. Lopez outdid herself in her debut to the team, keeping the blue and gold in countless sets, which landed her finishing 7th in the nation. Her impressive record also found her placing first in the conference in digs per set with 5.87. To top it off, she also collected 2 Defensive Player of the Week honors this season. Another Explorer found herself snagging an A10 End of the Year award. Junior Elizabeth Osborne made first team all-conference and all-academic team. Osborne proved herself to be a force to be reckoned with with performance after performance, the best of her career. She concluded the year with 158 kills and 71 digs within 8 matches, ranking 3rd in the nation and top of the A10 charts in kills per set, points per set, and attacks per set. Osborne performed equally as well outside of the court and in the classroom with a cumulative GPA of 3.7.
Men's water polo had a dream season this year. They increased their win percentage from .207 in 2019 to .375 in 2021, finishing 3-5 on the year. In addition to their dramatic improvement this year, they also collected numerous postseason honors. Coach Tom Hyam was named the MAWPC East Coach of the Year. Senior Daniel DeMotor landed on the all-conference first team, while fellow senior Cole Strossen, sophomore Colin Camiller, and freshman Velchko Kodorica were named to the all-conference second team.
The women's volleyball team had an unbelievable season. They finished the season 11-5 and got a ton of recognition and postseason honors. Senior Madison Martinez was named Offensive Player of the Year, earned a spot on the all-tournament team, and joined classmate Sarah DeFusco on the all-conference first team. Junior Madeline Kofer was named to the all-conference second team, while a record 12 Explorers were named to the MAAC all-academic team.
So kind of sad that a lot of our seasons are coming to an end. I think baseball is really the only one that still has games ahead of them. But it has been kind of a tale of 2 athletics programs. We've had teams that did really well, and then we had teams that didn't do so well. So obviously we do want to highlight baseball because they're sitting at the top of the A10 right now. They're 26-15 all the year. They have a ton of stars to talk about. They're still going. So it's just been really great to see them continuing their dominance and continuing such a good run in the A10.
Right. It's kind of funny that most of the sports with the best seasons is their last season.
Yeah.
And these are teams that were not performing well at all before.
Mm-hmm.
Just like we would just completely trash them on the show.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they're getting canceled and they're like, oh, well, let's have our best season ever.
It's some extra motivation, you know, you want to go out with a bang
right.
on a positive note. And even teams that we will be seeing again next season, the soccer teams, I
right.
talk about them a lot on the show, as I'm sure everyone's noticed, but they really have been doing well, especially the women. They have an amazing group of freshmen. The men have an amazing group of freshmen too. They have 11 of them. So while I think the women are going to continue with their dominance, the men did definitely want a better season than they got this year, but I think that they're really going to take what happened this season and have that motivate them to do even better next season because they really are a force to be reckoned with. It's just a matter of bringing the team together, bringing that cohesiveness. They have pretty much all of their players coming back next season, so I think we can expect big things from them as well.
Right, and it was unfortunate that neither team actually made the A10 playoffs, despite playing so well.
Yeah.
But like you said, their future is so bright that, I mean, in hindsight, it probably wouldn't matter because, they're going to continue this dominance because I don't see how, you bring in 11 freshmen for the men's soccer team and then all of a sudden they just fall off the map. They're going to keep going. They're going to keep growing. So hopefully this upswing in their performance is going to continue. And with the women, I mean, obviously they've always been good.
Yeah.
I'm expecting them to come back stronger next season and,
Undefeated season. I'm calling it right now. And then cross country, track and field, again, like we said earlier, it's just dominant performance after dominant performance from them. The Mancini sisters, Luki Zurakowski. I don't think we mentioned this in the recaps, but he actually made it to the A10 championships in Stillwater. He represented LaSalle there. He did pretty well there. So it's just amazing to see them, amazing to see freshmen like Ibrahim Kadir get on the podium and get really good finishes too. So again, that's another team that has a bright future, but they're also doing very well this season. So they really got it all going for them right now.
Another one of our better sports that have always consistently at the top of the A10.
Definitely.
What we don't mention, like I said in the top three, that there's a lot of freshmen that also place very well. They didn't get the podium, so we didn't talk about them.
Yeah.
But they are also placing very well. So, I mean, after Grace Mancini is leaving on her final season, we still have all three of her sisters who are also just as good as her. And on the men's side, we're losing Luki Zurakowski, but we also have Ibrahim Kadir coming back, and we have Dennis Manning is gone, but
it's okay.
But yeah, it's okay because we also have people placing very high and very well in his categories as well.
Yeah. So, we'll be just fine for the future. But that's it for recaps. And when we come back, producer Jamie Smith tells us which team we should be keeping an eye on going into next season.
I see my friends out there getting waves and talking about them, and I know exactly what they're doing and what they're feeling and everything. It's like, it's hard. I was diagnosed when I was 57. It was a surprise to me when they told me I had MS. It's like, you sure?
Well, the idea is this is a 360-degree virtual reality camera rig. Steve hasn't been able to ride a wave in way too many years, so now I'm going to ride a wave and we get to share it with him. Well, we're going to do something.
Just put that on your head.
Whoa.
Oh, this is unreal. Coming up, coming up, coming up. Boom. Nice. Nice. This is fantastic.
Yeah, let me set it up and you get into
Set
the
it up.
ride.
Let's do that again.
This is the city where danger lurks. Today, a new creature walks among us, terrorizing innocent citizens. They prowl the streets alone and in packs, causing mayhem, destruction, and carnage. Warning. Until this threat can be contained, we must all be on the lookout for the dreaded digital deadwalkers. They're not looking out for you.
Dude! Engage!
A public service safety message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, who want to keep everyone well connected.
Sorry.
With strong, healthy bones.
Welcome back. We welcome the lovely and talented Jamie Smith on to give us her view on what Explorers team is going to dominate their sport next season.
Since this is our SportsLine finale and every sports team has wrapped up their season, this Explorer report will be taking a look at what team I have positive expectations for next season. It was a tough decision, seeing that countless teams have truly outdone themselves. However, I decided to highlight the swimming and diving team. After having their program cut by the school, the team fought long and hard all season to prove themselves, and they did just that. It was recently announced that the program was fortunately reinstated, and the team is on track for their 2021-22 season. This was the season of breaking records for the team, as Germany native Sarah Rossetto finished out the season claiming a gold medal and then re-breaking her own school record in the first round of the A10 championship. For the men's team, junior Zach Wolbert broke the record for the 200 fly in the A10 championship as well. A quote from head coach Sasha Malinina reads, quote, "The men's team showed character and class under really difficult circumstances through this season. As coaching staff, we're so proud of their season and accomplishments and could not have picked a better group of men to coach," end quote. The men and women's team have countlessly topped the charts throughout this difficult year, and are without a doubt a team we should be keeping on our radar coming next season. Sending it back to you guys at the desk.
It's just amazing to have that sudden news that men's swimming and diving got reinstated after it didn't seem like any of the teams that had got cut were going to be able to make that comeback with fundraising. But I just remember getting that email, and then I texted our SportsLine producer group chat, and I was just very confused. I'm like, did you guys see this email of swimming and diving getting reinstated? So that's huge news that I don't think any of us were really expecting. So it's kind of hard to make something of all of it, because it's so sudden, and it's great for them, obviously, but it's going to be interesting to see with swimming and diving if they can raise all this fundraising for their program, what the other programs might be able to do for them as well.
Right, and I know in the fall when it was announced that there were a lot of different teams trying to get that financial support outside of LaSalle so that they can keep continuing. I know swimming had one of the stronger ones with the alumni of the program trying to raise money, and I'm glad it worked, because out of all those teams that were getting cut, swimming and diving was one of the most shocking ones, because they've always been so consistently good. And I'm glad that they were able to find that money so that they can continue this tradition of being like such a good sport for LaSalle.
Yeah, and it does make sense, because like we mentioned earlier, they share a lot of coaching staff, they share the venue with the women's swimming and diving team, they share a lot of other resources, so it does make a lot of sense to bring them back, and it's only going to make the athletics program even stronger, because they do finish very consistently well. They have their own record-breaking performances, they have their own great swimmers, great freshmen, so it's really exciting for them, and it's just going to be really amazing to see them be able to keep competing, keep seeing what they're going to be able to accomplish, and see what they can do going forward.
All right.
But that just about wraps it up for us this week and this season. Keep up with this weekend's other sporting events by visiting goexplorers.com or check out this week's edition of The Collegian.
Also check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/LaSalleTV and on Twitter at SportsLineLTV. We welcome you to send us your thoughts and suggestions there. This week's poll is, which is Savon to make her entire personality now that the season of SportsLine is over?
Please, I need suggestions. I welcome anything and everything. I'm open to anything. But for Isaiah and our entire SportsLine team, until next time, I'm Siobhan Nolan.
They should have changed my name in Siobhan's script. I am Isaiah Clark.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us for another great season, and we'll see you at the game.